Hey coaches, this is Coach Sheffer from obsessedwithoffense.blogspot.com, and today I wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts on a certain offense that I have been studying a lot lately, and that is the single wing offense. And I wanted to talk about mainly many of the reasons that I am starting to fall in love with this offense. And so some of you may be familiar with the single wing. Now, I apologize if some of you are single wing gurus out there. You will definitely know a lot more than I do because I have never actually run the single wing myself. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm just giving you my opinions and my feelings based on what I know so far from my research. Now, many of you, if you know anything about the single wing, some of you might not know that much. You might just know what it looks like. So, for example, there is the most popular form of the single wing that I have seen out there is the Apopka from Rick Darlington from down in Florida, in Apopka, Florida. Apopka, I'm not so sure how you say it, to be totally honest. I apologize if I butchered it. But it's the unbalanced single wing, and I love unbalanced formations myself. But the one formation that I have been starting to fall in love with in the single wing offense is Bruce Ihn's fat formation. It is a balanced formation, and I promise you, Coach Ihn, I'm not going to give away any of your secrets. I did purchase Coach Ihn's championship productions videos, and I have been studying those extensively, and I've been watching Coach Ihn's. I'm gonna link his links down below. I did actually do a blog post on his stupid sweep, and I might actually do a video on his stupid sweep formation, which I'm probably gonna add that to. It doesn't matter if I run single wing or not. I'm probably gonna see if I can add something similar to that in any of my offenses as an unconventional offense. Now, the formation, the fat formation here is a balanced line formation. Now, this might be different than what many single wing coaches know from the unbalanced sets. So this X here is a receiver. You could either have him split out, or you can bring in another tight end in tight. It depends on what you want to do with it. Do you want to pass out of it, or are you just looking to run? Now, you can see here you've got the quarterback, you got your H-back or B-back, however you want to call him. You got a fullback, a yard behind the guard. You got a tight end. You got a Z. That guy can either be another running back or he can be a wide receiver. So, excuse me.
Again, there will be a mentoring meeting with all students who plan to dance with the ASA in room 290. Please be prompt. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Apologize. I'm at school right now. So the bell's about to ring. The kids are getting out. They got the announcements and stuff. So the reason I'm falling in love with single wing is because I really wish I had known about this before I started coaching as a head coach at the freshman level. Because the team that I coached, we did not have a prototypical quarterback. We did not have a guy who could make those passing reads. We did not have a guy who could stand back there and just sling the bean around. We did have plenty of guys who could run around. Okay, we had some good athletes. We just did not have a quarterback. Single wing is one of those offenses where you don't necessarily need a guy who can sling it around. Okay, you don't need a gunslinger. If you have one, that could just make this offense even more explosive. But you could be explosive running a single wing offense without even running with a gunslinger or quarterback. Okay, that's, in my opinion, I know a lot of spread coaches are going to be upset with when I say this. I think to run the spread, you have to have a quarterback. Okay, and I've seen a lot of teams out there try to run spread without a good quarterback, without a consistent thrower, and they suck. Okay, but let's talk about single wing. Okay, the biggest reason I like the single wing is, and I really like the power play off the single wing, is the number of bodies, the number of blockers you can get at the point of attack. If you run it And again, Coach Ein, I'm not giving away any of your secrets. I'm not giving away anything that isn't already on YouTube. Okay? You can run this play, and it's pretty easy for the offensive line to learn. They don't even have you don't necessarily have to have anybody pull. You can have somebody pull and have an extra guy at the point of attack. But the way we have, you don't really, okay, so you have down, down, down. You are going to have this guy block down. The fullback is going to be the kickout player. The H or the B, however you want to call it, is going to be the run through. And the quarterback is going to run the ball. Okay? So you, depending on what the defense looks like, you have one extra guy at the point of attack on this power play in the single wing than you would out of an I formation or out of any other formation that you're running the power play. Okay? Especially if you were to bring that guard around. If you were to bring a guard, it doesn't have to be that guy. It depends on what your power looks like. Okay? Because you can play with this however you want, depending on your personnel. So what I've heard from some coaches about why they run the single wing is because it takes away what they call the handoff machine at quarterback. A lot of offenses, some of the spreads, I formation and stuff, during a run play, the quarterback's job is to hand off the ball, basically. After that, they're done. Unless they're going on a boot action or something, and in reality, you're just kind of throwing away a player. And a lot of coaches are going to argue with me about that, and I understand. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But I like taking away that handoff machine. Have him actually run. So you're going to need that quarterback. You can call him a tailback if you want. If you don't want to call him quarterback, it's whatever. You're going to need a guy who can run. Okay, he's going to be your main runner in this offense. And so, if you get it really good, they start to overload to that power play. They know you're going to run power. This is your identity. You start running something to the other side, okay? Or you run power pass. Play action passing out of the single wing is like dirty, filthy, okay? The defense is not paying attention to the pass, okay? Not in this offense, unless you're running an offense that's more like Ohio State. Now, I have heard that Urban Meyer out of Ohio State has admitted that much of his offense and his spread offense at Ohio State is based off of the old school single wing offense. That's another reason I really like the single wing. Especially this balanced formation here, I can move people around, still have the same concept, still be a power single wing running team. I can move people around and be in very similar formations to most of the spread offenses out there. It's easily adapted to current spread offenses. So if you don't want to marry the single wing, maybe you start running something similar to this as a red zone package or something of that nature. It's up to you, because I know I've spoken to coaches out there. It's difficult to get coaches to run stuff like this because they're afraid of what other coaches are going to think of them. There's kind of this perception out there that if you don't run spread offense, that you're not with the times, and I don't agree with that at all. And I've heard that the single wing is basically the great-grandfather of the spread offense in the first place. So many of the concepts that people are using in spread offenses now were born with the single wing. And many people, and myself included, I believe that you can run a single wing offense and still run a lot of the spread concepts that other coaches run today. You can run the single wing offense with a good quarterback. It's a great offense. Okay, of course I'm not saying that you can start running the single wing and you're automatically going to be better. There is no offense out there that's going to make you any better. You have to be good at what you do. So if you run single wing power, run single wing power. That's what you do. Okay. So those are my thoughts on the single wing. If you have any comments, so I'd love to hear from other single wing guys. I'm still learning. I want to learn. If you have any concerns, you have any arguments you'd like to share, please keep it peaceful. You know, I'm just here talking ball. I'm here trying to learn as much as I possibly can. I'm not here trying to down anybody or anything of that nature. So check me out at obsessedwithoffense.blogspot.com. I have the link in the description below. And please remember to stay obsessed.